It's Lords of Chaos weekend in America. The movie just opened, and we're at the Corpsepaint show, and we also say fuck the mainstream. So we're glad you're here. If you dwell in the underground, especially extreme sinister metal, this is the show for you. We also love independent horror film. Maybe you can tell us a little later, Janie Slash, all the work you've been doing on independent horror. I find it very exciting. We're going to welcome our first guest, and we have three wonderful guests. Is from Hungary, I think from Budapest, is Péter Sallai. Péter, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Yes.
Péter.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Thank you for this invitation. Everything's fine. Thank you very much.
Good, good. All right. Your band is Bornholm, and for American metal fans who don't know, you got four full-length releases out, right?
Yes, we have. We started to play black metal in early 2000, so it's quite a long time ago. But we are mostly known in Europe, so not so much in the US. So it's really welcome.
Yes. Well, everything I find. Look, your latest is called Primeval Pantheons.
Yes.
I ordered it, Janie Slash. I just ordered it, so looking forward to getting that in. But everything I've found online has been right up my alley. Just some good, strong, extreme metal. And I was pleased to see you were on that Tribute to Bathory album, Hungarian artist Tribute to Bathory, and a killer version of Valhalla.
Yes. Yeah. I love that song, and as I remember, we made it in 2010. It's a special album, and Cortland's father loves it so much. This album, it's so rare. You know, there are some Bathory cover albums, and I think this one is the best, or one of the best.
Yes, and your song is 8 minutes of Valhalla.
Yeah.
Can we say that? 8 minutes of metal heaven. That's just a great version. So, Péter, all right. So,
Thank you.
All right. It's Lords of Chaos weekend over here in America, and we appreciate you being here. So, how did it happen that you got on set? What did? First off, let's explain. The movie was filmed in Hungary.
Okay, explain.
The most of the movie filmed in Hungary. A few days in Norway, Oslo, but the most parts shooting in Hungary.
Hungary. What am I saying? Yeah, Hungary.
Okay.
In Budapest or near Budapest, maybe.
Yeah, near Budapest and on the countryside, and there are a lot of places. So I think more than 6 years before they only started to looking for places, and it was a long term when they found everything here. But I think it's awesome.
Did Jonas just reach out to you and say, "Hey, come and help us"?
It's a strange story. We got a request from a casting agency, not Jonas from himself, and through them we met the guys and the crew and everybody else. After a while, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, for our viewers who may not know, can you explain exactly what you did for the Lords of Chaos film?
Yeah, they needed people. It's a very important part of the movie, the musical parts, where the actors had to play really on instruments, on guitars and drums and everything else. And they needed somebody who can help them to do this, just look real. and they found us. And as I remember, we met in a rehearsal room in Budapest. And at the first day, we were waiting 6 hours or something to arrive. The guys and Jonas, and we were thinking, two of us made all the work from the band, David, a drummer, and me. And we were thinking what's gonna happen. And after 6 hours, they arrived, and they came in the room. And Jonas told the guys, okay, just take one instrument, take the second one, sit next to the drums, and do something, anything. And they did a really, really big noise. So you cannot imagine what happened there. and it was 10 minutes of hell, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody could play on anything. And after when they're gone, and we're starting to frighten. Oh man, what gonna we do? So we didn't have any clue.
Yeah.
But I have to say, after we had our daily test, so from every morning, sometimes 6 or 8 hours, we had to be in the rehearsal room and practice with the guys, and they did an awesome work, a very good job. So I have some stories about this.
Well, go ahead and tell
Yeah,
those.
we'd love to hear them.
We want stories.
Yeah. Rory Culkin, who plays Euronymous, got an old Fender guitar from his friend to practice. But we had to borrow some instruments from a music store to have instruments, all of the members. And they had to play the real chords. So they had to learn the real plucking techniques, how to pick correctly, everything. And they practiced so heavy. So even in a hotel room, everywhere. So during they were there, I think they never slept or something. I don't understand how they did it. So we had only days, 5 or 6 days to the first shooting of the musical parts. And we had only that amount of time to do something. And we just wondered how fast they learned. So it was awesome.
How many songs did they have to learn? Do you remember?
Yeah, 9 Mayhem songs, I guess.
9 Mayhem songs and only
Yes,
in
yes.
days? That's insane.
And the hard thing was that we were listening the original soundtracks and everything, and there are parts in the movie when they try to play and they don't play so well. So they had to learn the failures also.
Yes. So
How to fail. So that was the heaviest part.
because
On drums and guitars everywhere, so on every instrument.
I think it would be harder to try to fake it versus actually just learning the real thing, because that would stress me out. Trying to be like, okay, I'm trying to match this and make this look right.
Are you kind of saying, Peter, that they learn these songs, but then for the first scenes of the movie, they're a young band, they're supposed to sound bad at first, that they had to kind of step back some of the skill they had just learned?
They had that skill. So
Yeah.
the heavy part was to do the failure at the right time.
Yeah.
So they had to memorize everything when the failure comes in the music and do the same.
So
So it was so heavy.
was Jonas concerned that the positioning of, say, Rory's fingers on the guitar had to look like it was the right chord being played for that song?
Yes, and Rory himself wanted to play the rhythm chords.
Yes.
So I was with him in his dressing room after shootings, and we just practiced Freezing Moon, for example, or Pagan Fears for Mayhem, chord by chord. And he asked me, just teach me the real thing, so not something fake. He
Right.
wanted
That's
to play
awesome.
real. And it happened exactly on drums. Anthony, who plays on drums, he knew only this 2x4 basics thing, something. And after some days, he played Pagan Fears and Freezing Moon just like
kidding.
Hellhammer. So
Yes.
that was a wonder, I guess. So they did a very good job.
That's great. That's great that he really wanted to dive deep in the character and actually learn the chords, get into the mind. It's a very great method actor, Rory Culkin is.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So they were fake musicians, but kind of became real musicians playing black metal for the first time.
And black metal's intense. It's
I mean,
not easy. I can't imagine playing that. It's fast.
Think
It's
about
intense.
Freezing Moon and the changes in that song. So,
Yeah.
Peter, we have a couple of cool photos you sent me, or one.
Yes.
No, one good photo. It's we're using the color photo, and it's you with Rory Culkin and Emery Cohen, and there it is right there. And
Yeah.
I like all the very serious metal faces.
Yeah, it was made at Hungary's biggest radio station.
so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know what is this, and this is where the Mysterious Dom Satanist album recorded in a movie. So that's this place, and it was the last working day with them, and after work we did this photo. Yeah.
Very good. And we have not seen the movie yet either.
We're gonna see it this Thursday.
So-
Yeah, you're so lucky.
We're excited. Is it playing? Is it play? Did it play at all near where you are, or do you have to like watch it on video on demand?
So I haven't seen the movie, but Jonas told me they're gonna organize some screening for us. So in Europe, it's gonna be in March or in April. So I'm gonna see it.
All right, very good. If we could go back to that photo one more time, did you also have to consult Rory and Emery and all of them on how to look metal in a photo? Because
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
a lot. So
yeah.
that was the second part.
Yeah.
It was most important. We talked a lot about black metal, everything. So all about the scene. As I knew, they saw only this documentary called "Until the Light Takes Us."
Yes.
And they read some articles, and that was all they knew about it. Almost nothing. And we had to talk with them a lot about this kind of music, the whole atmosphere of it, how to behave like a metal musician, and how to look like. So it was so important. Yes.
very good.
So it was like black metal 101. Here's the history.
Yes.
Here's how to play it. Here's how to be it, live it,
Yeah.
and love it.
Everything.
That's
Everything. And we had some
fantastic.
personal stories with Mayhem, and so I know some members personally, and I was in Norway years before, and I heard some stories about this thing, and we were talking about this also. So it was so important.
When black metal emerged, late 80s, early 90s, was this something that came to you in Hungary just like in Norway? Or I think in America it kind of took a while for us to hear about and learn about it, but I'm curious as to how that emerged in Hungary.
Yeah, there was a band called Tormentor, where in this band Attila from Mayhem played, and they started to do this kind of music so independently, and that's why my dad and all the guys from Mayhem loved it so much, and that was the reason Attila became the singer of Mayhem.
From Tormentor.
But, sorry?
From Tormentor.
Yeah, from Tormentor, yes.
Yeah.
And I guess I met first time with black metal. I was 14 in 1994, and it was something mystical. It was not so popular. Nobody knew anything about it. And slowly, in the late 90s, it came out and totally changed the metal world, I guess. Just like in the whole Europe. So Hungary was the same.
Yes, and you know, do you think it's fair? I mean, now that we're on the topic and kind of the birth of black metal, would it be fair to say that it was Euronymous and Dead who almost single-handedly created this whole new subgenre?
Yeah, I think they. There's a certain plucking technique and the sound, you know, it's like just like whirlwind or something. It was totally new in metal, so nobody's made like he did.
They were.
So I think they invented something new.
I agree, and I can see how they would tire of death metal. I don't know. Sometimes I dive deep into death metal, and then I kind of want to break from it, you know. And
Not so not as I feel right now. They were against death metal, so
yes,
totally against it. So
yes,
they wanted to do something really different, and yeah, some of the bands were in death metal before because of this its dark atmosphere and satanic atmosphere, but the music itself, it's something totally different.
yes. All right. And so, a good time really working with Jonas, and he appreciated you guys. He wanted the band there to help out, and you were right there to make the actors look like they were black metal musicians.
You have to know Jonas is a very kind person, very friendly and kind. You know, so I was afraid of to meet him. You know, he's very famous and everything. I didn't know what gonna happen, but he's one of the most friendliest guy in the world I ever met. So, and I think he's a real metalhead till now.
Yes.
During the shooting, there was a big battery patch on his back behind the camera, and
Yeah.
so it was so authentic. So
Yeah. And
he's
isn't
a
it?
very, very nice guy.
And there we kind of closed the circle. You know, you did the Hungarian tribute to Bathory, great version of Valhalla, and then Jonas is in your backyard. You know.
Yeah, it's so life brings strange stories, I guess. So
Yes.
it was there's no contact between these two things, but it happened. Yes.
To me, it's just so fascinating and interesting, and because Jonas was originally a drummer in Bathory for a while,
In the early years, yes.
early years.
That's awesome.
Hey, there we are. You like our studio, Peter?
Yeah.
We got a burning church right here on our table. I don't know if you can see that. So
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Hey,
And I was there when the church was burned down.
okay, so hold on, pause that thought. So this was my next question. So the fake churches were built in Hungary, right?
Yes.
And then of course they would film the scene, and the church would be burning, and you take it from there.
One church was fake. It's but the second one, it was just like the real one. You know, with electricity, with everything.
Oh.
So just like in real life. So the same architecture, everything. And two of these churches were burned down to the ground.
Well, I
Took
mean,
more than 10 hours.
in Hungary for the movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was there. I saw it happen. It was awesome. So, it was so scary.
Was
So
this
that big heat. So
Oh,
I
wow.
cannot explain.
Yeah.
crazy? Was this your first time being on set on a film? Like a
Yeah, of course.
fully.
This is my first time.
Were you there for majority of the filming?
Sorry.
Were you there for the majority of the filming? For most
Yes,
of the
yes.
filming?
At the shoot, you know, when we started to practice with them. Okay, we finished the work,
Mm-hmm.
but we had to be there at the shooting. So right when they did the work, so before the cameras, and we were there also. So I was there in Dad's house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was a so strange place. You know, in the movie
Mhm.
where Dad committed suicide. That room was so freaky because in real life suicide was happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the crew found police signs on the floor when they started to work, and it was so freaky place. And I was there also when in Your Nameless house basement when they rehearsing, and so at all places where the musical parts was shooting.
Wow.
I didn't know
All right.
they filmed in the actual place.
Well,
What happened?
okay. Are you referring to they did some filming in Norway?
No, I wasn't in Norway.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you talking about a recreated house or room for?
Yeah, they
Okay.
recreated everything. So
Gotcha.
just like in reality, to the smallest details, you
Gotcha.
know.
Oh, gotcha.
From photos, they almost asked a lot of photos from their house
Mm-hmm.
from that time, Your Nameless house, home, and to the smallest details, pictures on the wall, everything else were made. So everything's just like in reality.
Oh, gotcha.
Don't you?
That's great that they did that. That they recreated everything.
recreated everything. Yes.
And burned down some churches in Hungary
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make this
a fake one.
Yes, really. So, Peter, don't you think that Attila has done a great job in just keeping this name alive?
Yeah, of course. And you have to know Attila was there when the churches burned down, and he told me now I can see it. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah. Wow. And
And you also sorry. And if you know, Attila's son plays himself in the movie,
oh,
so he's his son. Yeah, and he's just like in the same age and looks like the same like Attila was at the time.
yeah, like 16 or something, right?
I'm more 23.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Very good.
Okay.
Peter, hey, are you doing festivals? Is Bornholm, kind of prepping for that right now for the spring?
We're working on a new album, so we're gonna record it in March. But we're gonna play on festivals in Sweden, in Hungary. So it's under organizing. Yeah, we're gonna play.
Yeah.
We're working hard on this.
Yeah, very good. Hey, Bornholm is the band, and so please check them out. Hey, look, I think we've got, real quick, I think we've got your Facebook page and your website. I found your website very, very good with all kinds of information and areas where to get product and everything. So, yeah, there it is. Can you see it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
The official
I designed
website.
it because I'm a graphic artist in my personal life, and I'll work a lot on this.
Well, it shows. I think it looks very good. And
Yeah.
so,
Thank you.
well, we want fans to follow you and find you on Facebook and visit the website and support Bornholm. Bornholm supports extreme black metal. Let's support
Yeah, of
them.
course we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, anytime you come over to Dallas, you let me know.
Yeah, we let you know immediately. Yes.
Yes. We'll be the first.
Well, good, yeah, and
I'm hoping.
and we'll help you arrange a venue. We'll arrange a venue. We'll help
okay.
you out. We'll give you a
Yes,
tour of the
open.
city.
Thank you.
That's Péter Sallai from Bornholm. Thank you for talking to us from Hungary and staying up very late for us, Peter. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We're
Thank you
excited
very
to
much.
see your work in the film. Everything will be like, Peter, help
Yes,
us.
we're
Did that.
excited to
They're
see.
metal because of Peter.
Right, to see Rory and Emery and all of them looking like real musicians, and that's your signature.
Yes, it is.
Peter, thank you very much. Let's talk again.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye, Peter.
So they're metal consultant. Would that be a
I
fair
know.
name?
That's a great thing. It's a great
Job,
opportunity,
yeah.
a great job.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the metal consultant.
Metal consultant.
I mean, you can't get much more metal than that.
Here's how you headbang. Here's how you
I
hold
mean,
the guitar.
I feel like that would be one of the highest compliments of metal. To be like, hey, I need you to consult on this film. Like one of the origins of metal, kind of
Agreed.
black metal.
All right, so our next guest is INGAR from Crest of Darkness. Now, Crest of Darkness is a Norwegian black metal band.
Yes.
Formed in the early 90s. We'll have INGAR address that. And are still going now. And in fact, their latest album is this one called Welcome the Dead.
And he's been a guest on our show before, a couple times, correct?
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
INGAR. Our friend INGAR from Jovik, Norway. Hey, and also, if things go well, Janie Slash,
I like this music. Hold on. I know it's just the calling noise, but it's kind of groovy.
if things go well,
What?
we're trying
We're trying
to talk to the CEO of Liquid Death later in the show.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hi.
Hello, INGAR.
Hello.
I cannot see you. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, it's INGAR AMLIEN from Crest of Darkness. And we cannot see your face. I don't know if there was a camera issue.
Oh,
there we go.
it is. Hi,
Okay.
Ingar.
Okay.
Hails. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I was very pleased to see online that you had a tour this past year, and were in the studio. I think you were kind of teasing us metal fans, that you're recording some new music. But bring me up to date on that. Is there something planned for 2019 that is big news?
Yes, I think so. We have recorded a new album. Nothing is official yet, but I can tell you that it's the recordings are finished. We have already mastered the album, and within a few weeks, I'm not sure, we have to discuss it with our record label, but within a few weeks, couple of weeks maybe, we'll give you a release date, the name of the album, but yes, we really have something to deliver this year. And you also mentioned touring. We did a mini tour, I call it. Only a few dates, but it was important for us, important dates. But we're also planning more tour dates this year. Yeah. So it's a lot coming up.
All right. So that tour was kind of prepping you for a bigger tour this year.
Yes.
Very good. And I still love every song on Welcome the Dead. And I think that an anthem of black metal is the song Chosen by the Devil. And I just always will love that song, Ingar.
Thanks a lot, my friend. I think I can call you that now. We're in touch regularly a couple of years, is it?
Yes, indeed.
Thanks a lot for saying this, for promoting our band. It means a lot to me, and for me, I, in a kind of way, I can understand what you mean, because Chosen by the Devil, it's a lot of symbolic lying in this song, the music itself, but of course also the lyrics. It says a lot about me and my music, my art, everything I'm doing, actually.
Good. And I like it because it turns that word chosen on its head. Because on American radio, I hear the Christian preachers always describe their flock as chosen. And I like the way that you use the word in the song Chosen by the Devil. It's chosen by the devil. And to me, I love the, I guess, juxtaposition of that.
I just have to say thanks a lot, because you obviously understand my way of thinking, because I like to play with words, and through using this kind of message, I want people to understand it exactly in the way that you obviously do. But on the other hand, it's okay for me, and I like it when people get, you know, with the lyrics, people understand it. They get different, let's say, pictures in their heads, different associations. But you have, in a way, got the message. Yeah.
It's so good to talk to you, and you're in Norway right now.
Yes, I am.
You told me that you, or did you tell me that you had previously, now this was back in the 90s, visit the Helvete?
Yes, that's true. I was there several times. We're talking about early 90s then. Today, the Helvete shop, that Helvete in Norwegian, that means hell. So if translated to English, American, it's the hell shop. The Helvete, this place one of the reasons why I was there, and this is quite a good story, I think, it was because at that time it was a very good booking agent in Norway who really had his eyes open for what was happening in the metal scene. And because, you know, I'm living, it's not so far away from Oslo, but it's a couple of hours and whatever. They had this death metal nights, and in the early 90s I could see Morbid Angel, Death, D-Side, a lot of all of this up and coming death metal bands, and in this Helvete shop, when I was in Oslo, I visited Helvete shop, both because I wanted to buy records, but also because it was really a place where you could meet people like yourself. So it was, you know, it was drinking and having a lot of fun, because before we was going out on this death metal nights, and that was perhaps the main reason why I was visiting Helvete at that time, because remember that afterwards, now it's history. I had no idea at that time that Helvete would be so famous, if you know what I mean.
I gotcha. And did you tell me you met Euronymous?
Yes. I was not a close friend to him, but I met him several times, both in Helvete, the shop, but also other places. He was visiting the death metal nights, but it's kind of paradox, I'll say, that you know, through this, you know, I don't know if he even had a name, black metal at that time. You had Venom, who had already released the Venom, the black metal. I think it was, you know, but we didn't talk about it. Like at that time, we didn't have a name for anything of this. But what I remember is that he was very much against the Morrison studio. Euronymous, Øystein Aarseth, he said that it was too polished, it was too... he was not very much into this kind of death metal bands, but whatever, he was at the events at this death metal nights, and I guess of course he also got something out of it, because it was dark and brutal music, but in a kind of way I can understand him, because while these death metal bands was you know, it was humans describing a terrible world in a kind of way, but black metal was something new, and I also thought so, and I still think so. It's more like unhuman. It's from it's a voice from another place. You can still today you can see the difference. While the death metal bands are describing more what's happening on Earth, and even the voice, the kind of growling they're using, it's different from the black metal bands, which are trying to, like myself, trying to be on. It's not from Earth.
It's more.
It's a kind of alien beings.
Maybe more mystical.
More mystical, definitely. That's yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So, did you say a moment ago that Euronymous found death metal to be too polished?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
I remember that very well, and I also remember that on some of the recordings he released through his label, it was kind of sticker which obviously was against the Morrison studio, and also Church of Satan and LaVey, because he also thought that it was not evil enough for him. So yeah.
So
That's another story. That's another story.
well, all right. So let's touch on this. So the Morrison studio in America was where Death and Deicide and all the black metal bands were creating their sound. It was more polished, and his Euronymous' label was Death Like Silence, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that's right.
And so he wanted his sound to be way different and be a little more raw.
Yes.
Not so clean.
Absolutely. You're very much right about that. He in some kind of way, I think it's cool, but on the other hand, I think that they at that time they made too much rules, I think, because later on, I think that black metal is really about to be yourself 100%. But on the other hand, I also say that if you listen to Norwegian black metal bands who started up in the early 90s, it's and even before that, they are quite different from each other. They have a lot in common, and we have a lot in common. I was also early with my first recordings, and we had a lot in common. It was a kind of we shared something with no doubt, but on the other hand, it also promoted personality and the ego doing what you think is right yourself. So yeah. So if you compare bands like Darkthrone, Mayhem, Emperor, Satyricon, all these bands, they have with no doubt a lot in common, but still they're quite different from each other.
Well, sure.
That's what.
Did you talk to Euronymous about Church of Satan or LaVey?
No, I didn't. I don't know why, because at that time, of course, I had a kind of respect for him. But today it's not possible to explain what it felt like at that time, because I had no idea about all was going to happen afterwards, if you understand what I mean. I didn't know. I had a strong feeling that the music at that time and all these up and coming black metal bands, I knew. I was a little bit older than many of these musicians. I've always been an old man. I'm a vampire, you know. But
all right, so.
So I could see it a little bit from the outside already then, I think, and I knew that it was fantastic what this young, enthusiastic people was doing, but I had no idea what was going to happen in the years after, if you understand what I mean.
I do, and so Euronymous was just kind of an acquaintance, someone who was there in the scene, someone who was there at Helvete. You didn't know at that point when you were talking with him that black metal would become a huge scene.
No, it's like that. I didn't know that. But I knew that already then that he was one of the most important persons in this scene. I did understand that. Also because he was a very good musician himself, but I had, but like you also said, I had no idea that what was coming afterwards.
Did you start your band after seeing all of this, or were you kind of had you already maybe had some roots in maybe death metal I
I'd say that it was, for me, it was, first of all, this new and up and coming black metal bands, as we call it today. At that time, it was no talk about black metal. It was not
right. It
invented yet.
Yeah, it wasn't a phrase yet. Sure.
Yes, the phrase was coming later. Whatever. I got a lot of inspiration from the death metal bands, also thrash metal, but it is a reason, because before that I was releasing albums with other more melodic progressive metal bands. I've always been heavy metal, you know, but it was but it's no. But when I heard this first recordings, all this very much different. I still think it's something quite different from regular death metal. Black metal is something different. Sometimes, and nowadays, you can listen to bands who have using elements from different styles of extreme metal. But at that time, I'll say that these black metal bands from Norway, but also other countries, but especially Norway, that was the band I knew the best. They came up with something special, and that inspired me very much to make the first Crest of Darkness songs.
Yes.
I was there all the time, and I had ideas long before black metal and Helvet and Euronymous and all this. They had been there for a long time, but when this music came, then I said to myself that I have to do this.
Yes, good.
And that was the start. That was the start of Crest of Darkness.
Yes. Now, Ingar, the reason we're asking all of these questions too about Helvete and Euronymous is, as Janie Slash knows, this is Lords of Chaos weekend in America. The movie just opened here. I know you said it will be in March in Norway, and we have not seen it yet. We're having a big party on Thursday. If you can fly over,
I would love to do that. I don't think it's possible, but I'd love to do that. But sooner or later, I'll come over and visit you.
Great.
Yes, please do.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes, good. As you know, Dallas is Assassination City. So we are bringing Murder and Mayhem back to the Texas Theater. Now, that's the infamous location where Oswald was arrested in 1963. So we're bringing, as I say, we're bringing Murder and Mayhem back to Texas Theater.
I'll give you my full support. Thanks for supporting me.
You're welcome. Now, did you tell me that when you talked to Euronymous, he expected his circle of friends to be as evil as possible?
Yes, I got that impression, but I think it was most of all thinking about the music then, because when we was at Helvete, it must also be said that it was a lot of young guys. It was partying and drinking and laughing and just having fun. But if I said something like that, well, yes, when they came to making art, making music, creating music, yes, it was a goal for him. If he wanted to be a part of this, it should be as evil as possible.
Yes.
And so that's true. But I think it's important for me to be as honest as possible, because people are so. Nowadays, everybody's talking about this, and I don't want to pretend like being someone else than I am. I don't want to pretend like I was more inside than what's the real.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Everything I say is the truth.
Yes, I know what you mean, and you're honest in that you were not necessarily part of the close black circle. You met him, you knew of him, and you visited Helvete. You were in Oslo a little bit at that time, and it inspired you to create a black metal band, Supreme Crest of Darkness.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Hey, so I'm very thrilled whenever you talk about new music coming out. Do you do all of the singing?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, good job on that, because to me, that's a big part of the band, and it just sounds so good.
Thanks a lot.
Crest of Darkness, Norwegian black metal.
Yes.
So I am DJing in the lobby of the Texas Theater on Thursday, and the song I'll play the most is probably Chosen by the Devil. As you know, it's just at the top of my list.
Yes.
That's like Freezing Moon to me. That's
Chosen
my
by the
Freezing Moon.
devil. And we call you Satan, so it really is chosen by the devil.
Hey, INGAR.
Yeah.
Now,
Thanks. I just have to say this. I said it many times before. I'll say it again. Thanks a lot for your fantastic support. And I'd love to come over.
great,
Yes.
great. We will welcome you anytime. We'll give you a full tour of Assassination
What-
City, also called Dallas.
What kind of wine are you drinking? Are you like a Cabernet guy or a Merlot or
I
a
don't have any
Pinot?
answers, sir, but it's an Italian wine. It's not a very cheap wine, but it's not. It's quite dry. My glasses. It's
No.
a Italian wine.
Oh, okay.
Crest of Darkness has a great website.
Yes.
They do, a great website. Crestofdarkness.com, I think.
Awesome.
And yeah, and just like Bornholm, who we just had on, this is premiere. Yeah, you got all the information right there. There's
I like that picture.
Yeah.
That's a great picture.
You can see all of this, right, Ingar?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, very good. So I like that website a lot. All information there on everything Crest of Darkness. Crestofdarkness.com.
Check it out.
Hey, I have a silly question.
That's good. That's good.
All right. So, I'm just curious on this. And I don't know if you're in Oslo very often right now, but is Oslo a destination city for some music historians as kind of a tourist spot because of black metal?
Yes, it is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I see that a lot of tourists they are coming to Oslo. They want to see where the hell of the shop was lying. It's another shop now, but the place do exist today, and yeah, it's if you're really into the Norwegian black metal history, it's several places you can visit in Oslo and the surroundings.
Man,
Right.
that's great. That's great. Maybe the location of Mayhem's first gig or something like that, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot of places which is interesting. So yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's great. Ingar, what else is on your mind? Is there something else that fans, listeners need to know that is happening with the band, or anything else maybe you can share?
I think that I said the most already, but the most important thing is, of course, that we are about to release a new album, and if you're curious about this, you should, of course, visit our website, crestofdarkness.com, or find us on Facebook or other places. So that's the most important thing. We'll announce a new tour. I guess it will be, most days will be in the autumn, I think. So it's a little bit into the future, but of course we'd love to come over to America, but we have no concrete plans about that right now. But that's really a dream for me, coming over to America and play there with Crest of Darkness. So I'm living in the hope.
Wouldn't that be great? Man, I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe the movie will kind of start a new energy on black metal again over here. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's hope.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
Now, Ingar, okay, so that's great. Now, when you've got information about the release, just reach out to me, and we will put the word out over here regarding your new album.
Thanks a lot. I'll definitely keep you updated. As you know, I support your show 100%. It's fantastic. I watch it myself regularly. So it's fantastic. It's really cool.
Good. Well, thank you.
We
Yes.
appreciate your support. I do see you popping in on the live feed, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Any other comments right now on the live feed regarding? Okay.
Just that Crest of Darkness needs to come to Dallas.
Oh, great. There you go.
yeah.
Okay. Well, people are saying it. See?
Great.
All right.
Thanks.
Ingar, and Hales, we appreciate you so much, and stay in touch. Hopefully we'll talk again soon. Thank you for sharing your stories about Euronymous and Helvete and Oslo and black metal and all of it. And bottom line is, go to their website, watch what's happening. New album in 2019 from Crest of Darkness.
Thanks a lot for inviting me to the show, and I hope I'll come back.
Good.
Okay.
Definitely.
Very good. Thank you, Ingar.
Thank you, Ingar.
All right, bye for now.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Or day.
I like that band.
Is it then?
Well, it's 7 hours. It's about 7 hours ahead. I mean, so it's 1 in the morning ish, and you know,
So, good morning.
yeah. So both Peter and Ingar really honored us by staying up super late and talking to us live. So we appreciate that. Really do. We have a great guest coming up. His name is Michael Cesario. He's a CEO of this company right here, Liquid Death. Now, that's not a beer. That's mountain water from Austria.
Yes.
Yes. So we're hoping to connect here with Michael Cesario, hear the story about Liquid Death.
It's not just any mountain water. It murders your thirst.
It kills it.
Have you read the description on the can?
I did.
Yes.
We-
It
you-
gives a very vivid and detailed description on how exactly it murders your thirst.
So,
And it's
all right,
environmentally friendly.
let me
Because they
just.
use aluminum versus plastic. It's made mostly of recycled.
We're gonna try and connect with Michael, but let me just
can is.
let me just say this. All right, there is in America right now there is a new temperance movement. That it's to temper your use of plastic. In fact, some people want to eliminate completely their use of. I'm talking too loud. What?
No, put your microphone down.
Oh,
Don't hit the there
your
you
use of
go.
plastic. So look. Do you want this?
No.
Do you want this?
No, we don't want
Look,
that.
look. This is like an albatross or
That's
something.
making me sad.
Yes, and
Yeah, I
more.
know you were gonna be showing
look, no.
depressing
Look at this
photos.
imagery. Do you
No,
want
I
that?
don't wanna
Look
look
at
at
this.
that.
This
No,
sea
I don't
lion or
know.
whatever it is,
No, it makes me sad.
this is what's happening to our
like-
oceans.
It's like almost as bad as SeaWorld.
And this sort of trash is in our oceans right now because of the mountains of plastic that all of us Americans produce in our own households. We need to all pay more attention to it. So, or do you want this as the real alternative to trash in our oceans? And that is a recyclable can of Liquid Death.
Well, exactly. It says it on the can too. It says that it is this frosty can of pristine Austrian mountain water. It won't just refresh. Oh wait, hold on, wrong side. There's a lot of really interesting information on here. Average aluminum can contains 70% recycled materials. Average plastic bottle contains only 3%. That is a pretty drastic difference in percentage. I'm just saying.
Recyclable.
Do your maths. 63 or 67%.
The point is, this is a smart company that is not putting more plastic into our hands and therefore into.
And it's from Austria.
Yeah, it's actually.
So I've been working on a film on set. I'm the makeup artist, and I've been doing things.
Well, tell us the name of the
film. 13 Tracks of Fright and Agatha Black. So I've been working makeup on that for the last few weeks. You should order some, Richard. You should order some Liquid Death. You can buy it on Amazon. It's amazing. You want to drink it cold and frosty. People were asking me if I was drinking a beer, and then I said no. I said it's mountain water. It's metal as fuck water. And they were like, oh, and then they were taking pictures with it and pictures of it.
You mean on set, on the horror
set,
movie
yes.
you're working on?
The horror movie I'm working on. But yeah, it's a really fucking awesome can. It's great water. It tastes amazing. You want to drink it nice and frosty cold. It's okay like room temperature, but it's better cold. And it has this awesome skull on it, which you can see
cold.
more vivid on the box over there that Satan has in front of him.
That one right there. Hey, Michael.
No,
you're not. Oh, okay. We're trying to connect.
we're trying to connect with Michael as I keep talking about this can.
We'll get connected with him. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Michael. All right. Hey, man. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Can you see us okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Oh, man. Thanks for joining us. So we were just bragging about, I don't know if you heard all that.
No, I didn't hear that because I'm going from my phone, so I couldn't tune into both simultaneously.
No worries, man. Look, what I was saying is that there's a new temperance movement in America, and that is to temper our hungry appetite for plastic in all things, and that some people are really trying to just eliminate it completely from their life. Use of plastic. And that's what your company is really, that's one of the messages of your company is you use recyclable material.
Right. And we're going to be starting a new initiative soon called Death to Plastic. And we're going to basically donate 5 cents from every can we sell to help clean up plastic trash, basically, from the oceans. So that's always kind of at the core of why it's in a can. And then it just kind of so happens to be that cans are just more fun to drink out of.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And that's how we got there.
We have a case of it right here. And Janie Slash has been sharing it on a movie set that she's working on right now. She's working on
a local, low-budget independent film.
Independent horror film. And
awesome.
And everywhere we go, people seem very keen and interested in this can and the logo and the water inside of it.
The can is very well thought out. I really like what you guys did because it has that great description on how you murder the thirst. And then I love the artwork, and everybody seems to really, really like it. Everybody that's seen the can has taken a picture of it. They think it's so neat.
Awesome. That's good to know.
And so, all right. So, what is the figure? It's 70. The can is 70% recyclable, or the. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong.
So basically, the way it works is 70% of the can is made from recycled material.
Gotcha.
The full can is recyclable, where the average plastic bottle, they only use about 3% recycled material, because when you recycle plastic, it turns out a very, very low quality plastic at the end of the process, and they basically have to sell it to China to make like garbage bags and cheap things with, because it's not high quality enough to make brand new plastic. Whereas aluminum is infinitely recyclable, so you can just keep making new cans out of recycled cans, basically.
We're very interested in Death to Plastic, if this is an initiative you got rolling out soon. And we began this segment by showing some heartbreaking photographs of trash heaps of plastic bottles floating in our oceans.
Yeah, there's a thing that some people have seen it on the internet. It's been part of the news probably the last year or so, called the Great Pacific Garbage Island.
Yeah.
Where it's basically like an 8-ton floating island of plastic garbage in the Pacific Ocean. It's bigger than, it's like the size of a state, which is pretty crazy.
Would you agree that the only people really thinking about this right now, it seems to me, are the young, who are more vested in what's happening in the future of our planet right now than any politicians?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Look, hey, we also, can I announce here that there will be some free samples of Liquid Death cans at our big party on the 21st, right, Michael? Here in Dallas. Right. Yeah.
That's right.
So we're doing a big party. This is Lords of Chaos Week, which is that movie about the origins of black metal. We're screening it at the infamous Texas Theater in Dallas. And Michael, man, if you're over in our neck of the woods, you got to come by and see that, of course. And And we're going to hopefully have some time to talk about Liquid Death too to everyone there, or at least give out some of the cans that you're donating. So we appreciate that.
Hey, we really appreciate that.
Look, it's best cold, I think. And here's my question: I haven't done this yet, but couldn't I just run this through my Keurig and make maybe a fresher cup of coffee?
Yeah, we've done that actually. We actually sold a whole bunch of it to a guy in Ohio who wants to use it to make cold brew with.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, Janie Slash is a cold brew drinker.
I am a cold brew drinker. Yes.
I'm a hot coffee guy. And we both love good canned water from Austria. Hey, is it bottled in Austria?
Not bottled.
Yep.
Canned.
Or canned, yes. All right, did I say it wrong?
You said bottled.
Yeah, we actually say bottled as well, just because I don't know. There's a weird thing about the word canned. Like I don't know. I think of like canned peas when you say.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
canned.
think of too. That's why I was like canned, but yeah.
But yeah, no, we can it and source it in a town in Austria, just outside of Salzburg.
See, it's mountain water from Austria. Every one of our guests on the show today is it's Hungary, it's Austria, it's Norway.
I don't know. People keep asking me what I'm drinking, and I'm just like, it's metal as fuck water. And they're like, oh, cool. Because everybody assumes it's a beer. I look like I'm walking in at like 8 a.m. with a beer. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's just metal as fuck water.
water.
It's not a beer. It's
Yeah.
not a beer, I swear.
It does
That's
kind of...
actually one of the places that we were a little bit, we didn't really plan on, but we're getting a ton of love in is people who are sober who don't drink much rather would drink one of these in a bar or wherever than, a bottle of Aquafina. And
You know
no one's
what?
usually going to give you shit about it.
This
No,
is a great point.
That's what I was saying. Being in bars all the time, you don't always want to keep drinking, and people start to give you shit. And it's kind of cool because it looks like a can of beer, and so you could be holding it, and nobody's gonna think you're not drinking. And especially if you're like, oh, get me a can of Liquid Death, people aren't gonna automatically assume that's water. They're like, oh, okay.
Michael, I myself am a teetotaler, and I don't know if there's many like me. I think there are, but you're right. We want to be able to still belly up to the bar, and that's a great point.
Yeah. And then we even have, and it's interesting too, like as we've been seeding product out to parties and bars and just kind of watching how people drink it or how they don't want to drink it. And one thing that's funny is like at some house parties, we've seen like people are holding, a cocktail in one hand and then a water in the other. And it's like, if you were ever at a party where there was 30 people all holding a bottle of water, it would almost be weird, but it's just not weird anymore.
It's not weird anymore.
And we even have a bar in here in LA where we're based, who created their own drink special where it's a can of Liquid Death and a shot of Wild Turkey whiskey, and it's called a Thirsty Turkey.
That's great.
But also, it's fair to say that you're kind of going after a healthy crowd, or maybe some metalheads who want to be more healthy.
Well, I've said this to people before. I guarantee you will find more sober people and vegans at a heavy metal show than you'll find at a Taylor Swift show.
Interesting point.
That is pretty accurate. I know
You
a
think
lot
so?
of people who don't drink. Like,
Yeah,
at all.
maybe there's more of us than we realize. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Michael, look, there's great marketing with your product, and last week on our show we actually displayed how you can get a free 500 milliliter can sent to you. Is this still accurate? We're flashing up the contract right now.
Yep.
All you have to do is sell your soul.
Yep. All you have to do is we had a real lawyer draft up that contract, so it is legally binding.
It sounds legal. It sounds legalese for sure.
Now, have people actually sold their soul so far? Have you had quite a few people, or?
So we originally were, because it's expensive. Actually, people don't realize to send somebody one free can of water. It basically costs us about $8. So we can only give out so many. So we capped it at 666 souls. That's all we were going to take for free cans. And then once we hit that kind of ceiling, we made everybody else. Now you have to, from this point forward, you have to apply to sell your soul. We've got a funny little application, and then we'll sort of let people know in the future, like as your soul gets approved, that you'll get a can, or some kind of, or it might even be a free case going forward.
All right.
As well. But yeah, and since we've hit the max, we've had, I think, over 14,000 people apply to sell their soul.
Wow. What is the criteria for that? Like, how would you decide if someone's special? Is it like a random lottery, or is there something you look for in that? Like, do you have to write an essay of why your soul is more worthier than others?
If you go to the site now, to the Sell Your Soul page, and you click on apply, you can kind of look at the questions that we make you answer.
Well, so the follow-up then, Michael, is, are you learning a lot about your customer base?
Yeah, and what I think is really funny is when we first launched and that promotion kind of got out on the internet, all of these like freebie sites on the internet that are mostly followed by like soccer moms and these moms who want coupons and free anything.
Yeah.
Like,
So our site was getting flooded by all these kind of soccer moms who are forced to answer these questions like, it's like, how would you prefer your thirst to be murdered? Decapitation by blender, disemboweled by icicle.
Yes.
And they have to answer these questions, and it's pretty funny.
Disemboweled by icicle. Now, see, it seems to me like some of these have got to be written by Will. Am I saying his name right? Carsola?
Will Carsola.
Carsola. And so, obviously, Michael, you know that we're fans of Mr. Pickles here.
It's an amazing show.
Yes.
Really is.
And hails to season number 3, Will Carsola. Thank you so much. But you see a lot of decapitations and insertions and all kinds of blood and gore on that show. So I'm just curious if Will came up with these questions.
Will is he's a co-founder of the company. He's super busy with Mr. Pickles, as you can imagine. Creating a television show, an animated one no less, is a lot of work.
Yes.
But anytime we can, we're kind of running ideas by Will. We're getting his input on things. So pretty much every part of the brand that you see, from the copy on the can to the skull, Will drew the skull. Will drew that cool skull on the bottom of the case. We kind of bring him in as often as we can to kind of help us with the creative side of stuff.
Yeah, in fact, last week on our show, we showed one of the images, too. I think it was from your website, of the decapitated head flying off and the cut off limbs, but one of them was holding a can of liquid death, I think. And
that's all Will. Yeah.
And so obviously, do you get a lot of attention from advertising magazines who want to like pick your brain? Hey, you guys, this is a cool ass marketing campaign.
A little bit. We it's funny. Some of the like industry trade magazines, like BevNet, and like some of these beverage industry things, like they look at this like, I don't get it. Like, why would you name it Liquid Death? That's negative. Who's ever going to buy something negative? Like, I don't know. I'm not really a millennial, so I guess I don't really get it. So that's kind of been the industry, I think, response. But then a couple people really do get it. Like, we had a senior vice president of Coca-Cola be like, you guys are really onto something here, even if other people don't immediately get it. So that's always been good, too.
Michael, don't let Coca-Cola buy you, please.
Fuck no.
Good. All right, yeah. And that's what we say on this show. Fuck the mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, you don't want that. I mean, the only reason this brand is doing as well as it is, and we are, like right now, we're the number 5 new release of all beverage on Amazon, and we've only been out for 3 weeks. And every decision that I've pretty much made about this brand has been kind of to be authentically metal, for lack of a better word. Like, I'm like, would Slayer think this is cool? You know, would they post this or they post that? And it's like, I've been very strict to everything we do with the brand like that. And the minute you even take money from someone like a Coca-Cola or anybody, now they have a say, they have control, and then all that stuff goes out the window. Mm-hmm. And you know, with a brand like this, if it gets watered down at all, it could, I mean, that's it. I mean, because it's just water. We don't own some proprietary ingredient or recipe. It's like, we're just water, and we're having a cool brand that's bigger than just, you know, the water itself. You know, we want to
Yeah.
we want to fund, you know, environmental things. We want to fund bands. We want to fund cool artists. You know, and especially the kinds of bands and art that the Coca-Colas and the bigger companies would never want to like touch with a 10-foot pole. You know, we want those people.
Well, I hope that we could call you a partner or a friend here. I mean, let's stay in touch, and we always have ventures and projects coming up, Michael. Let's just stay in touch on things. Also, are you implying that maybe there would be a tour, I don't know, sponsored, co-sponsored by you guys, sort of the way Mr. Pickles is doing that tour this spring with who am I thinking of? Janie Slash, our friends from Virginia, Municipal Waste. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of ideas for things that would be cool to do once we're able to afford to do them. Right, for instance, right now, one thing we're working on, I think it's going to launch in May, is we're doing a fully animated commercial for Liquid Death with Will and like the Mr. Pickles guys. It's going to be really fucked up. And awesome.
You heard it here first on the Corpsepaint Show.
Yeah.
Or maybe we hope you heard it here first. And maybe it's already out there. But yeah.
No, it's not out there yet. You guys are first.
Thank you, man. Well, we appreciate that. Yeah, we're looking forward to a great event on Thursday, and your product will be there in the hands of these fans of Lords of Chaos and black metal, extreme metal, sinister metal, and maybe a little bit of death metal in there. Thrash metal, Municipal Waste style.
Sounds awesome. The new band, they're big supporters of us as well. The guys from Municipal Waste are in the band now called Iron Reagan, who are really fucking good.
Yep.
We've been talking with those guys. They're really good guys.
Yeah, we love Iron Reagan. They're great. The whole band, they're just freaking nice guys, and their music is incredible. Amazing. And they're a great live show.
Michael, you're really looking at two people who have been Iron Reagan fans since I think they first came out, and we love Tony. We think he's just a great lead guy, and the whole band. I mean, we've seen him quite a few times live around the country, and just love the guys.
Yeah, they're awesome. The one guy in the band, I think he's a co-owner of a new bar in Richmond called the Cobra Cabana, and they'll be one of the first bars in Richmond who are actually going to be carrying Liquid Death, which is pretty cool.
Well, hold on, pause that thought. How can we replicate that here in Dallas?
Hey, you tell me if you have any bars that are interested in carrying it. We're about to roll out next week. We'll actually have a wholesale portal on our website, so any bar in the country can basically set up a wholesale account with us. We just have to approve them, and then they can order wholesale direct from our site. It ships right to them, so we don't have to go through, their distributor locally, which can be a huge pain in the ass and costs a lot of money.
Do you think that bars will prefer that rather than using a local distributor?
In the meantime, I think, yeah, because you can't get the product any other way. We'll eventually be in distributors around the country, but for the time being, it would be the only way they can carry it. So far, we get a lot of emails from bars around the country who are like, oh, yeah, that's great. Because a lot of the times, bars hate dealing with distributors because they go in there and it's like, oh, you want to buy the new Liquid Death? You also have to take on our new bubblegum Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay.
It's like they keep pushing new products on them, so they don't like dealing with them. So I think it's a little refreshing for some that they don't have to deal with them.
Gotcha. I just want to back up just a little, so we can see you we're cutting off the top of your head a little bit there, Michael. Sorry. All right. So you would assure them that the delivery wholesale would be during opening hours for the bar, which is maybe after 5 p.m. or what have you, right?
I think so. They all have different ways. I think that they accept packages, and when they have people there working, because a lot of sometimes managers are in there earlier because they're doing back end work and stuff like that.
But the point is, you would coordinate that, yeah.
Yeah. We're always flexible on those kind of things. We can figure out how to make it work, and it won't work for everyone. And that's just the reality. Is we're not a national brand yet. And once you start trying to get into distributors, nationally, I mean, you're spending, close to $1 million easily. So we have to roll out slower. So this is kind of our stopgap option that we have for people who want to carry it, that we're not distributed to yet.
Gotcha. All right. Well, this sounds great. So you said next week there will be a feature on the website for wholesale, right?
Yep.
All right. That's great news. Look, I do want to tell you that I ordered mine from Amazon. I hope that was fine with you. And it came in 2 days, and there it is right there on my porch. And it just nice 12-pack right there.
Yeah, no, we don't really have a preference where people order it on Amazon or our site, because actually everything ordered from our site is actually fulfilled by Amazon on the back end. So even if you order from our site, you're still going to get it in 2 or 3 days max anyway. So
yeah, awesome. Good deal. And we're enjoying the beverage, and
I think we pretty much finished out the case. There's like 2 cans left.
Oh, there's 2 left here. And I gave one to our operations manager, Ziggy, who's here in the studio, and told him to drink it cold. There he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. You can drink it anywhere. Drink it in your car, drink it in the studio, drink it at home, and drink it at a bar.
We had somebody get pulled over by a cop who was drinking it.
I was
wondering about that the other day because I had it in my car sitting in the cup holder, and it's like, oh my gosh, if somebody looks in there and be like, she's drinking a beer.
And so obviously everything turned out fine, right?
Yeah. They just said they kind of think it's funny, like they almost feel embarrassed, which is kind of fun.
That's what I would think. I would feel like an idiot if I pulled somebody over. I was like, oh, it's water.
Well, I think Michael's goal then is to really change this nation to where in a couple of years, everyone knows when they see that it's liquid death.
Well, and it's in a tall can, which I like. I like that it's in a tall can. So it's you're not missing out on any water. It's not like a little can.
The point is, you're drinking some water that was from mountains in Austria.
Yeah.
We all want to stay healthy. We want to live longer. We want to have fulfilled lives without a lot of fat on our body. And so we support what you're doing.
And we want to stop plastic in the oceans and everywhere else.
Yeah, plastic's
no more plastic pollution.
I mean, they're already getting rid of the plastic straws most everywhere, at least here in LA. I don't know how it is in Dallas, but I think plastic bottles are going to be kind of next on the list. Europe is way ahead. There's entire massive grocery chains in Europe who are stopping single-use plastic bottles. So it's only a matter of time.
We all need to make steps in that direction.
Yeah, use recyclable bags. Don't use plastic bags. Use reusable bags. And there are plenty of portable straws now that you can buy and just carry with you. You don't have to use plastic straws anymore. Paper straws are an alternative too.
Did you know you can order wooden toothbrushes that are not plastic? Yeah. Hey, Michael, but the main way that you can prevent plastic from strangling our world is by ordering liquid death.
Yeah, I mean, now, we'll be honest, like, at the end of the day, a can is still a single-use thing, and the most ideal thing you could do is carry around one of those kind of like reusable water bottle canteen kind of things. And for some people, that's great, but you can't really carry one of those around everywhere all the time for everyone. Mm-hmm. So, the cans are just a way to have bottled water in just a way that is a lot more sustainable than plastic, but by no means is it the most sustainable thing that you can do. And we try not to be too preachy about that side of things. But yeah, and I think we'll probably actually sell some cool, evil looking reusable bottles on our site eventually.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and there's places you can't take reusable bottles in. You can't take one into a bar, especially in Texas. TABC won't let you take anything in.
Right.
Got it. All right.
Then I feel like that's probably what you guys are mainly marketing towards is bars, places that can't take reusable, recyclable bottles into.
Yeah, we're pretty much the only place that physical locations, it's not online, that people will be able to get liquid death. For probably most of this year will be bars, tattoo parlors, barber shops, and a couple of music venues. But mostly places you have to be a minimum of 18 just to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen on your website you talk about Austin. We want you to come to Dallas and look at Deep Ellum, Michael. This is a condensed area of venue after venue after bar after restaurant after restaurant, tattoo parlor, and more.
We get it.
Yes. And all condensed together. This is the art community of Dallas, and you know, we think we got more on Austin. We do, right here.
That's awesome. Yeah, one of our investors and former boss of mine, he grew up in the 80s metal scene of Dallas, and he was big proponent of the Dallas metal scene. So
Yeah, it might have been Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum is back. It kind of faded for a while, but it is super strong right now, and just new announcements all the time of restaurants and bars opening. But Michael,
Really
thanks,
cool.
man. Thanks for your time. Can we stay in touch regarding all future announcements and such?
absolutely, yeah. Give me a shout anytime. You know, if you guys are doing any events and things like that, I mean, you know, you guys are awesome. Happy to supply product where we can. And yeah, if you have any leads for us on cool bars or people that may be interested in Dallas, definitely send them our way.
I've got them right now, and I will send that to you. If not tonight, then in the morning. Thank you, Michael Cesario. Liquid Death, bottled in Austria. Yeah, it's great water choice for you.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mike. Thank you.
Have a
All
good
right,
night.
take it easy.
Okay. Bye.
Man, that's good stuff.
It is. It really is. It's a really good, and it doesn't have like a metal taste. Some people would be worried and you get kind of aluminum. Like I've had Dasani, and I can,
You mean like an aluminum?
and it has like an aluminum-y metal taste, but Liquid Death does not.
Like it. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, there it is. Murder Your Thirst. They've got a great website, and you can apply to sell your soul, as he was explaining.
I like I said before, I like that there is a very detailed story about how it murders your thirst. You'll have to buy the can to read it. I'm not going to read it to you right now.
Hey, we got a couple minutes left. Our partner is
Corpse Factory.
Yay!
Yay!
And they do sell those Living Dead dolls like
They
is over there,
do.
as well as a lot of cool merch and clothing. And
I would show you the Living Dead doll, but it's placed like all the way over there. Yes.
yeah, but look at their website. They've got it all.
They have clothing. They have accessories. They have amazing merchandise. Check them out. Always free shipping.
Yeah.
And they ship it to you very quickly.
And you can meet them in person at the July Horror Convention.
Yes,
that is
at
here
the
in
Mesquite Convention Center.
the Dallas area.
The 27th and 28th.
Very cool. That's corpsefactory.com.
Also, you can see them at Texas Frightmare Weekend in May. That's the first weekend of May, so you want to check that out as well. And that is at the Hyatt Regency Airport, DFW Airport.
Oh, of course. Yes. Texas Frightmare Weekend. And in
Yes.
fact, look at that.
Yep.
Sam Raimi, Robert Englund.
I'm excited. I purchased my Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, Ted Raimi photo op on Saturday. So they have some really amazing photo ops up for Texas Frightmare Weekend, so you should definitely check those out and get those before they sell out.
Okay, so you've got Sam Raimi and
Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, and Bruce Campbell.
Well, boy, all together with
Yes,
you. All together with you.
I get to, yeah, I paid for it. I'm excited. I was like, I'm fucking buying this for myself. I had a good night at bingo, so I bought myself. That's.
Yeah.
It sounds so bad. I had a good night at bingo. So what was
Yeah,
it?
right. Won a lot of money at bingo.
I didn't win any money. I hosted it. Anyway.
Hey, next week, our guest will be one of the guys behind the creation of The Curse of Valburga. And this is
It's a horror movie.
a horror movie with lots of blood and gore. It is a horror movie made by horror fans for horror fans. An independent production.
I like it. That's kind of like what I'm doing right now on set. The 13 tracks to Fright and Agatha Black. It's made by horror fans for horror fans. A lot of people from Frightmare are part of the crew. It's really a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the final product.